Okay, I'm going to share today some roll casting basics with you guys. Number one, roll casting with a fly rod should replicate the same type of loops as your traditional overhead cast. You shouldn't get a high flopping delivery that's inaccurate or gets knocked down by the wind. I'm going to show you a couple loops with a roll cast that go in low and fast that will still deliver flies under trees and branches, and then I'm going to teach you how to do that along with some other skills for roll casting. Okay, so here we go. So we'll aim over here by the bank, and I want to show you this roll cast. So when you roll cast, your fly should shoot in low and fast. My camera guy will go ahead and shoot out there towards the fly. So when I make a roll cast, my fly should still shoot in low and quick, very accurate. I can actually roll cast a little bit sidearm, like this right here, to bring those flies in very low and quick. So point being, when you roll cast, don't have that expectation of a high flopping cast. It's not going to be very accurate. You're not going to get under trees where a lot of those big fish are hiding. Under structure like this down here that we're about to go fish. So to achieve that with a roll cast, the lesson I want to teach you is the rod tip should stay relatively high from at the back peak of where our theoretical stopping point for a back cast would be, like this. And the fly rod should actually be thrust forward with the rod tip remaining high. And I know you can't see the rod tip on the video, but if you watch me, the rod tip is going to stay high. So I go to come into what I call my back cast or my D-loop right here. My rod tip is high. My rod tip is going to be thrown forward and remain high like that. My rod tip is not going to arc and fall down towards the water. Since the path of the fly is going to parallel the path of the rod tip, I want to keep my rod tip high, throw it forward, stop it hard, and that's going to shoot my fly very low and quick parallel to the water. Let me throw one or two more. I'm going to show you what those loops should look like. This is totally worth practicing next time, before the next time you go wade fishing. So I'll set up. My rod tip stays high. Just bring it back. My fly is going to shoot in very low and quick. Just like that right there. Very, very nice, very accurate style of roll casting. That's what you want your cast to look like. I'm going to show you what most of our roll casts look like when we started fly fishing, okay? I'm just going to show you. It's probably something similar to what a lot of you viewers have. I'm going to bring back, and I'm going to go high, and I'm going to bring my rod tip down to the water. Just like this. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go back a little too far, and I'm going to bring my rod tip down to the water. I'm going to do it again just so you get a good look at what not to do here. Rod tip's coming up high and arcing. That roll cast, it's not going to defeat any wind. It's not going to get under a tree, and it's not going to shoot very much line. Okay, so that's what happens when my rod has too much arc. I'm going to show you again, just a couple quick loops. I'm going to drag back. I'm going to keep my rod tip high and throw it forward. I'm going to come back again, stopping my rod tip high, coming forward. One more of those. My fly shoots in very quickly, just like a traditional cast, but with no back cast. Okay, so the next step, that's what you want to look for in your roll cast. Don't settle for that high flop like that. Next thing you want to do is learn how to manipulate your line. That is going to be kind of like Spey casting, but we're going to speak in English to you single-handed, us single-handed casters out there. The first step in really good roll casting is learning how to set up your cast. So what I've got here is really typical. My line's hanging down below me in the current. Now that's going to be very tough to roll cast from that position right there. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strategically place this line around me to set up my roll cast. And that's just called an anchor in Spey casting, but we're just going to strategically reposition the line. It could look like a lot of different things. One thing you can do is just simply drag the line up so it's closer to you. I'm going to go ahead and do that again. So I'm just going to, my line's hanging down below me in the current at the end of my drift. I'm just going to drag the line up. So I've got half the line on my left, half the line on my right, the fly is on my right, and then my roll cast, I'm just going to tighten it up and split it down the middle. Let me show you how to do that. So then I can throw a very, very nice, lengthy roll cast with little effort. So I'm going to drag it up and reposition it. I'm going to sweep back around, tighten the line. Then I can deliver a beautiful, 35, 40-foot roll cast very accurately, just like that, by strategically repositioning the line. Two rules for that. One, generally you want half the line on one side, you get half on the other, and then the fly has to be on whatever side you're casting. So if I'm going to be casting over my right shoulder, fly needs to be on my right. If I'm casting over my left, fly has to be on my left. I'm going to step away from the camera and just show you a couple of different moves. I'll throw some annotations in the video to show you guys exactly what to do and when. So gonna step away, I'm gonna throw a couple off my left shoulder, throw a couple off my right shoulder. No matter what you do in your single-handed, we'll say spey casting, but we're just trying to keep this very basic for wade fishermen with single-handed rods. We'll call it spey casting, but whatever you do, the first step is to strategically position the line around you, which is also called an anchor in the spey lingo. But we're just taking the line from a very unstrategic position, putting it around myself, allowing myself to build up a lot of energy and throw those really low, tight loops, which are going to result in more fish caught by roll casting in tougher situations. So I'm going to step away, throw a couple of casts, we'll call it good. No bites yet, but we will. So there's a couple of different styles of roll casting. The other thing it really allows the angler to do is to be able to quickly reposition the fly in the river without doing a lot of line stripping and having to pull that line back in from straight below you. You just reposition the line in the current, bang, you're back out and fishing. I can cover a trough like this in about half the time it would take me having to strip the line back in and recast it each individual time.